Hey guys, so last time we installed Pro Tools first and created your first project, but now we're actually going to make some music. When music has several instruments, they're usually played and recorded separately into what are called tracks. So let's start out by creating our first drum track. To create a track, you'll click on Track up here, and then you'll click New. On this window, click on the Mono drop-down menu and change it to Stereo. Because our drum track is going to be an electronic or virtual instrument, we'll click on Audio Track and change it to Instrument Track. Now click on Create. But right now, there is no instrument on it yet. So you can add what are called plugins into these individual cells below the text that says Inserts. These are the cells. A plugin can be, for instance, a virtual instrument or an effect. For example, I can insert a piano plugin on this first cell over here, and if I want to have an effect on it, I could insert an echo plugin on the second cell over here. So let's add that instrument plugin. To add an instrument, click on one of these cells. When you've clicked on the cell, it'll open a window in which you'll drag your mouse to Multi-Channel Plugin, then to the part that says Instrument, and finally Expand to. Rather than fiddle with all these features, we'll open a preset. To open a preset, drag your mouse under the preset title and click on the bar that says Factory Default. Now drag your mouse to 26 drums, and from that window, choose the drum set that you want. I'll take Dance Kit. Now that's your drum set. Next, we'll close the Expand to plugin. And now we're actually going to make a beat. To do that, click on this part down here that says Midi Editor. Click. Now that the window is open, select the pen tool. It's this pen shape. There, click. And then we're going to take the pen and start tapping in notes, or hits in this case. And you're basically making music right here off the bat. Just try and see what happens. Look at that. Cool. Now let's listen to what we made. So up here we have this little arrow, which is a playhead. And this is basically an indicator that lets you know where you play your music from. So we're going to click over here. And now we're going to press space. And now we press spacebar again to stop. So a few little functions for the Midi Editor. So you can resize your Midi Editor. You can make it smaller or bigger. And you can also zoom in and out with this button over here. So you can see that your notes are smaller. And now they're bigger. You can also zoom in horizontally. There's this slider. So you move the slider like so. You can also just scroll with your mouse, and that's how you can navigate your Midi Editor too. Now let's make a drum beat a bit more serious. So select the tool up here, which is called the grabber tool, and you can use this to click and drag the notes that you've made, like so. Move them to different percussions and different parts of your music. And the note that I just selected can also be deleted with backspace. So let's just delete all of this by clicking and dragging with your mouse to select all of your notes or hits, and then press backspace. Let's start from scratch. Let's scroll down in the Midi Editor until you can see the 1 label here on your piano. That key is a C1 on a piano, and that is generally the key that has a kick drum on virtual drum kits. So now let's take our pen tool again and make some kick drums there and there and there and there. Let's listen to that by clicking here so that our playhead goes in the beginning, and press space to play. There we go. Cool. Now let's add some snare drums, which is the note above the C1 over here, which is the C sharp. And let's put it in between each kick. There we go. You've made a snare drum. Let's listen to that. Cool. Now let's put in a hi-hat. But what if we want more precise note placements? We can't do that right now because the spacing between each note is too sparse. To get more precise note placement, we'll need to change the value of this grid higher. To do that, click on the small upside down arrow over here, this tiny one, and select 1/8 note. So you see what happened? The grid is narrower. We can now put notes in between these hits here. So let's put in a hi-hat. Let's actually be a little more creative. And let's see what happens. Let's put the playhead in the beginning. Press space for play. Alright, it's a bit goofy, but I'm okay with goofy, so let's just keep going with that. So now you have a drum beat there, basically. Awesome. It's time to make a melodic instrument this time. So select the grabber tool again, and close the Midi editor from the arrow over here. And now we'll make a new track. So take your mouse to track, click on new. We'll select stereo instead of mono again. There. And this part will also make into instrument track again. Now click create. So let's click on the first cell of the second track's insert section, like so. Drag your mouse to multi-channel plugin, then instrument, and let's go with expand 2 again. Let's put a melodic instrument preset this time. I'll choose a hard lead, so we'll go into the preset section here. I'll go to hard leads and select in your face. That sounds pretty cool. Now we've got the preset selected, we can close expand 2 again and reopen the Midi editor window over there. Choose the pen tool again. Before we punch in some notes, let's make the grid smaller again. I'd like it a little bit smaller. So the arrow up here again, click on that. Let's put 16th notes. All right, now things are gonna get interesting. All right, and let's listen to that. Very nice. One cool thing you can do is you can stretch these notes to be longer. You do so by clicking on an area, and then you stretch it like that and let go. So let's hear that. There we go. So your song is kind of short at this point. You probably want to make it a little bit longer. Maybe you want to hear this part looped a couple of times. So let's actually do that. To copy and paste a MIDI clip after another, select the grabber tool again. And then we're going to take a look at our edit window, which is here, but it's quite tiny. So let's make the MIDI editor smaller, like so. And to get closer to our MIDI clip, we'll go here and zoom in with the slider. That's your music that you just made. So to copy this clip after itself, you want to select it, then press Command C on your keyboard, meaning copy, which you probably know, and then you press Tab on your keyboard, and this will move your playhead to the exact ending of your clip here, right in the end. Now since that has occurred, press Command V, and that's paste, as you probably know, and now you've basically copied your beat after itself. So there we go, it's longer. Cool. So let's zoom out a little bit here with the slider, and even copy this twice after itself. So now we select this clip, press Tab, Command V for paste, and now we can do it here because this is already selected. So press Tab and paste. Now you've got this song here. And let's do the same thing with the melodic part that we did. So click on the clip, copy it, Tab, paste. And now because we have the next one selected, you can go Tab again, paste, and eventually you'll get really fast and you can do this. Isn't that cool? So now we have the editor playhead here, which we can put to the beginning of the song, and just listen to it. Press space to play. Yeah, you get the point. It's a little bit obnoxious, but it's okay. We're learning. Maybe you did a cooler song than I did, but hey. So now that you have this longer piece of music here, you can always revisit these clips by clicking on them twice, and they'll show up on your Midi editor. And you can change them if you wish. You can move your notes around, delete them by double-clicking, or, just put in more notes to have harmonies or something else. That's basically it. So look at that, you just made a catchy loop of music. Good job. In the next video, we'll do some mixing and we'll export your song into a finished audio file. So that wraps it up. If you liked this video, don't hesitate to check out our channel for more content like this. Anyway guys, see you next time.